welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to do a very special video for all of the new teachers that are subscribed to my channel. And if you aren't subscribed, then this is also for you too if you're a new teacher. This video is focusing on how to get free things delivered to you for your classroom. So this would be like classroom supplies, any type of consumable supplies like notebooks, paper, pens, or it could be even technology just donated to you for your classroom. So the biggest thing as a new teacher is buying all of the materials you think you're gonna need. And I've gotten a lot of new subscribers from my previous videos about hauls for school supplies and walking around Target and Walmart to show you things that are out for back to school season. A lot of teachers buy so many things for their classroom, especially if you're a new teacher. And new teachers tend to think that they want to have this Pinterest perfect classroom as their first year, and it's just not really that easy. It's really expensive, and a lot of the time when you do see a Pinterest perfect classroom, it has taken quite a long time to gather up all those materials for your classroom. So as a first year teacher, I did end up spending about $1,000 of my own money, if not a little more. And right now it's my third year as a teacher, so I'm entering my third year. But my first year I spent about $1,000. My second year I didn't spend as much because I actually had a lot of bills, so I couldn't afford to spend so much money on my classroom and decorating it. But I was able to find a lot of ways to decorate it without my own money. So when I was student teaching, I remember that my master teacher ended up getting these boxes delivered to her classroom, and she was opening them up and she was so excited. I didn't even know what they were from, but she told me that they were donations to her classroom, and I was kind of like in awe. I was like, how do you get like, I didn't ask her, but in my mind I was thinking, how does someone just get people to donate to their classroom? Like, I wish people would donate books to my classroom. That would be so awesome. I would love to be able to read these books and these books in my classroom, but being able to afford them is just, you know, it's not realistic because I have 35 kids per class. So if we're doing books, I need 35 copies of each one, and it's kind of overwhelming as a new teacher to think about that. So I didn't ask her what they were from. I didn't want to be nosy, but she did get donated things to her class. She got a lot of books. I would say about 3 different books, but like 35 copies of each one. So that's a lot of money. Now, I actually was Googling different ways to get things donated to my classroom 2 years ago. So I found DonorsChoose. Now, if you don't know what DonorsChoose is, it's a website for teachers and for the public. So teachers are basically going to create an account, and you're going to create a wish list of things that you want for your classroom. And you have to tell us about your classroom, you have to tell us about the things that you need and why you need them. So you're going to create this, they call it a project. So you're going to create this project or campaign and just find things that you think you would really enjoy for your class. So you just have to find things that you would think would help out you as a teacher and your students. That could be anything, again, from lined paper to a class set of iPads, anything like that. So if you are interested in signing up for DonorsChoose, there's a link in the description box of this video. If you use that link, you're going to get a special little prize, I guess. So when you create your first project and someone donates to it, that donation is going to be doubled. So let's say you created a project and the project in total is going to need about $200, maybe $250, okay? So I, random stranger, will come upon your classroom on DonorsChoose, and I'm gonna see all this stuff about your classroom, about your students, and about the things that you need. So I decide I'm gonna donate $50 to you. And although it doesn't sound like a ton of money, it actually is. Like, it's a lot of money. Now that money is gonna be doubled. So all of a sudden you have $100 towards your project. So if it was $200, it's already halfway done through one donor and then the match. And then if you had it for $250, you're almost halfway done. So if you use the link in the description bar to sign up and create your first wish list, then the donations will be matched on your first project. I'm not sure how long they're gonna be matched for. I wanna say it's a week, maybe 2 weeks, I can't remember, but that's how I signed up. So I signed up through a link where I could get matched donations too, and my first project I decided to run ended up getting funded. And I didn't think that it would, because I'm just thinking like, no one's gonna donate to me, no one's gonna donate to my class. Like, who donates, right? And it's kind of like one of those GoFundMe projects, except specifically for teachers. So if people are wanting to donate, they'd rather donate to someone with cancer who's dying on GoFundMe than donate to a teacher who just wants a class set of books. So that was my viewpoint, and when it got funded, I was just so shocked. I was so surprised and so excited. So I ended up getting a lot of books. So that was my first project, was a lot of books for a classroom library. So my kids don't really like reading, so I figured let's get a lot of different types of books in here so that they can find something that they like. And I swear there were probably like 30 books on that wish list, and it got funded. So I got at least 30 books just donated to me, and it was so exciting for me because books are expensive. Like classroom things, if you're a teacher, you know classroom things are expensive. So just having that opportunity to have other people help me afford it, it was so cool. And it's not just random people, like it's companies too. So there's this company called Ripple, and one day, this was not even that long ago, I would say a month, 2 months ago, Ripple decided to fund every single project on the website. Every single one. All of them. Now let's say you had, right now I could post 8 projects at once. Let's say each project I asked for 10 iPads and it got funded. I'd have 80 iPads. Granted, I don't need 80 iPads. I'm not gonna ask for 80 iPads, but I'm just saying, let's say if I asked for something and I decided, you know what, I need 10 iPads for this class, and I need a class set of books for this, and I need a speaker here, our projector broke, so I need a new projector. You can think about all these different things that you need for your classroom, and people are gonna fund them, and companies are gonna fund them. So I had, just the other day, literally like 2 days ago, I think, Cards Against Humanity put together a kind of fund where I think it was their holiday expansion pack for Cards Against Humanity from 2013. So the funds from those sales are being donated to people on DonorsChoose, to all the teachers. So I just got funded a couple days ago. I got some money from Cards Against Humanity. Like different companies and different people, like random just strangers like me, I could donate to you too. So it's really cool. It's really beneficial if you are a teacher and you spend a lot of money. If you are a brand new teacher and you need classroom decorations or just chairs, if you want flexible seating but you can't afford the different types of flexible seating, you can ask for them on DonorsChoose. So this is really awesome. I want to share it with you. So I'm going to teach you how to do it. Okay, so I know that a lot of you will sign up but you won't actually create a project, and that's okay because you're at least started. But I hope that you eventually go back and create a project, because if you don't create a project, you can't get anything donated to you, right? So I'm going to teach you exactly how to set up a project. So I'm going to assume that you already made an account. It's not very hard to make an account. You just sign up and you're going to enter your school information. And I think at that point it's going to ask you about your student demographic and just you and your school. What kind of students are you serving, and how can DonorsChoose donations help you and your classroom? So you're going to create your own profile. You're going to create your own account. Now I'm going to walk you through step by step on creating an actual project or campaign, asking for things that you want donated to your classroom. So step by step, here we go. Okay, so here I am in my DonorsChoose kind of dashboard type of thing. So if you don't know how to get to the dashboard, you're going to click on your icon in the upper right hand corner and you're going to go over to projects, and that's going to take you to all of your projects. So I actually have some projects that are posted. So I scroll down to the bottom where it says create another project. If you're brand new and you just made an account, obviously you're not going to have any projects posted just yet. So you're going to see this create project button just at the top. And that's okay, so it's going to be right in your feed. So you're going to click on that plus sign that says create another project. Once you click that button, you're going to see this page. This one says welcome. What type of project would you like to create? So you can choose between standard, student-led, and professional development. So if it's standard, you're just asking for supplies and different things for your classroom. If you want to choose student-led, that's basically where you collaborate with your students to develop an idea, and then they contribute to create this project. So it's not all your words, it's not all things that you're looking for, it's an entire group thing for you and your students. The last one is professional development. So if you're looking for professional development opportunities and to be funded for those, then you're going to click on that. So right now I'm going to click on standard because I just want to ask for materials for my classroom or things to go along with my classroom. So now I'm going to pick let's go. Now it's going to ask about your students. So this is where you tell them what grade your students are in. So technically the students at my school are 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. So which students are going to benefit from this project? What grade are they? If you only teach second grade, then maybe you're only going to put second grade. But if you teach more than second grade, second, third, anything, then you're going to put whatever students are going to be benefiting from this project. Scroll down and you are going to see the number of students. So how many students are going to benefit from this? So I personally, since I work at a continuation school, I put 367 because we have 367 students at my school. Is every single student going to benefit from this? You know, I don't know. There's a chance that every single student could, because if they come to my class the first quarter, they may not be there the second, and students that were not there the first quarter may be there the second quarter. So it's different for me. But if you are at a regular comprehensive high school and you just have the same amount of kids for every single quarter for the year, then you're just going to choose the amount of students that you have and that will benefit from this. You're going to scroll down and describe your students. So for me, I like to tell them about my students and where they came from. I focus on the idea that a lot of my students come from traumatizing experiences. They've been through a lot. A lot of them come from very, very low income households. It's a very high poverty area where I teach, so I focus a lot on that. I teach a lot of English language learners, so a lot of kids who don't speak English, so I think that's important to list on here too. So just let everyone know about your students and how deserving they are. Obviously mine is already in there because I use the same thing for all my projects. Once you upload this, it's going to use the same description for each of your projects, so it's automatically going to be saved in there. So you want to have just a couple paragraphs. If you can see, there's a part that's highlighted green. Now that green highlighted part is basically going to be in bigger text, and it's going to kind of be that one slogan for your entire, you know, essay here or whatever. So focus on that part the most. What do you want your slogan to be? So mine says, my students have dealt with such traumatizing experiences in their young lives, and I find it my duty to ensure they have a safe place to learn and better their lives during the school day. So that's something that I think is really important for me to say and tell other people. So that's the one thing. If they're looking through it, maybe they aren't going to read everything about your students, but this one's going to be bigger font, so they're going to read this one for sure. So whatever you put for that second sentence, you know, skip a line, that second part, maybe it's a second paragraph, whatever, you want that to be your catch, okay? That's going to be your catch-all. That's what everyone's going to see. All right, so we're scrolling down. This one's going to be your classroom photo. Now, you can have photos of your students, but you have to have release forms for them, just in case. Now, if you're putting minors online, obviously, it's gonna get into some weird legal stuff unless you have those release forms, the media release forms. If you don't have any media release forms yourself, you can find some online, give them to your students to sign, and then you're fine. A lot of schools actually give media release forms once they apply for the school. So when the parents apply their students for the school, they already sign that. So chances are your school actually has a set of release forms. You just want to check, ask, make sure, just to protect yourself and to protect your students. All right, so put a picture of there. I actually don't have my students on there. I just have a picture of my classroom. I'm trying to get one of my students next year when we start, actually in like a month, 2 weeks. We start school in 2 weeks. So I'm going to try and get a picture of all my students there, and it's gonna be a different picture. So it actually makes it feel a little more personal for people who are donating if they see the faces of the kids that they're donating. All right, once you're done with all that, you're gonna press save and continue. Then you're gonna wait for it to load, and you are going to go shopping. Now, once you get to this part, you are going to describe what it is you want. This first part here, you can have supplies. You can have a class trip. Maybe you want to take them on a field trip somewhere and you need funding. Or you can have visitors. Maybe you want someone to come to your classroom and it's gonna cost some money, you know? If it's some kind of celebrity or some kind of person who lives across the country, you have to make sure that they are able to get here. I doubt that they are willing to just buy a plane ticket, go over to where your school is, rent a hotel with their own money, and then buy a plane ticket back. I doubt that someone's going to be willing to do that without compensation. So if you actually get it all funded, you don't have to worry about that, and the person who is going to come to your class doesn't have to worry about that, and they're a whole lot more likely to show up. So right now, I'm just going to put supplies. Okay, so let's say I need supplies. When you click supplies, this yellow box is going to come up. It says, keep in mind, most teachers keep their projects under $600. Now, that is not a firm rule that you need to live by. If you want, say, 2 iPads, 3 iPads, that's going to be more than $600. Is it smarter to split up those iPads into separate projects so that the prices are cheaper? Absolutely. But if you keep them all in the same project, that doesn't necessarily mean you're not going to get funded. I would say that there are definitely teachers who get funded when it's more than $600. But at the same time, think about the other side, think about both sides here. If you go to someone's donation page and they're asking for $10,000 worth of iPads, it's a lot less likely that you're going to donate because your $25 donation isn't really going to make a dent in their $10,000 request. But if they want 1 iPad and it's only $200, your $25 donation is actually going to make a good dent. It's going to make a good impact. So think about that too. If you want to do more than $600, go for it. But for your first project, I would not suggest going over $600. All right, so we're scrolling down. This is where you can see all the different places you can shop online. So you're gonna go onto these different websites and you are going to choose different things that they have. So when you're building your wish list, you wanna keep in mind that you can't choose anything from any website. You have to choose from these specific websites. Now you may be thinking, well, what I want is on Amazon. That's perfectly fine, because if you look at this second one, it says Amazon Business. Now you can go into Amazon Business and still get things from Amazon that don't actually go into the business section. There are some things that you can get, like a mini fridge. If you teach home ec, if you teach special ed, you can get a full oven. You can get things like that for your class even though they aren't technically for business. So if we read it, it says education and teacher supplies, books, DVDs, CDs, furniture, e-readers, toys, computers, and office supplies. So there's a lot of different things that you can choose from. If you don't want Amazon Business, you can see there's AKJ Education at the top. That's where I usually go for the books that I request. Amazon Business second, Best Buy Education is third. Now Best Buy will not show you every single thing that is for sale on the Best Buy website. You're gonna see the education side. So you'll also see some home ec type things in there as well. But this one's gonna be a little bit more limited than your regular Best Buy website. Next, you have Blick Art Materials. So if you're an art teacher, this is a great website to get all of your art supplies from. Britannica Digital Learning, Carolina Biological Supply Company, CDWG, Dick's Sporting Goods. So even if you're a PE teacher, you can get supplies. You can get basketballs. You can get a basketball hoop. You can get a lot of different things for PE as well. You have Frey Scientific, you have Granger, Kaplan Early Learning Company, Lakeshore Learning Materials, Lego Education. If you do STEM things with robotics and remote control, things like that, you can go to Lego Education. You have NASCO, Quill.com, Scholastic Classroom Magazine. So if you like the Scholastic Scope magazines, you can get subscriptions to that as well. Scrolling down, we have School Specialty, Staples Advantage, Teachers School Supply, Time for Kids, which is also magazines, Ward's Science, and Woodwind and Brasswind. So even if you are a choir teacher or you teach some kind of instrument, you're a band teacher, you can get some instruments there and some materials for your classes there too. So all you have to do is click those open and it's going to take you to their website. So I'm going to go ahead and start with Lakeshore Learning Materials. Now I'm just going to look through the different things and see what they have to offer, and then I'm going to add them to my cart. So here in the front, you can see that it says welcome DonorsChoose.org teachers. Now, something I'm going to tell you right now, if you chose Amazon Business and it does not say welcome DonorsChoose, if it doesn't say anything about DonorsChoose on the top, then you are not completely logged in to the correct Amazon. So what you need to do is go to your Amazon website, log out completely, and then re-log in. So now we are going to scroll down and we're going to see what's available. So I see a lot of flexible seating things here, and I really want to try flexible seating in my classroom. The only problem is I have tile floors and I feel bad having kids sit on the floor without some kind of ball or some kind of weird chair or couch and things like that, but those are all really expensive. So what I really want is a rug, but I'm going to look through all the different things that are available here and see what I really want. Okay, so I found this rug, and I think it would be really awesome to have a rug in my classroom. So I am choosing the gray 9x12 rug. Now, one thing you want to keep in mind when you're requesting your items is the size and the grade level. So Lakeshore Learning is usually for younger kids. So if I wanted to choose some kind of chair, I would need to know that most of these chairs are for elementary aged and elementary sized children. If I have bigger students in my high school class, maybe they aren't going to fit on that wobble chair. So just keep that in mind. Now I chose this rug. I went and I added it to my cart. So now I'm going to go to View Cart. Once you view your cart, you can place order. You don't have to just get one thing. If you want more than one thing, that's fine. But what you see for the subtotal of $389, that's not going to be the total you need for your donation. It's going to be more than that because DonorsChoose takes into account the tax, shipping, putting together all this stuff. I'll get into that a little bit later. So it's going to be more that you need than $389. So I picked this rug and I'm going to press place order. Alright, so I placed my order and it brings me back to this page. It doesn't say welcome anymore. It doesn't say let's go shopping. Instead, it says you're doing great. Now it refreshed and I can see my carpet in there. So the carpet is $389. It has no charge for the vendor shipping, but there is state sales tax of $35.59, a third-party payment processing fee of $5.84, a $30 fulfillment, labor, and materials charge. So no matter what you request, there's always going to be that $30 fulfillment and labor charge. So my total project cost is $460.43. Now when people go in to donate, they are going to see that the total cost is $541.68. So when people go in to donate, they're actually going to see $541.68. So that's almost $100 more than the price of your actual materials and fulfillment, labor, and everything. That's because DonorsChoose likes to take some of that money to give to other teachers. So if your donor wants to give some of that money from your project to DonorsChoose, they can do that when they check out. But if they don't say no, they're automatically enrolled in that. They're automatically giving some of that to DonorsChoose. So let's say someone donates $25 to my project. They don't opt out of that. I'm not getting all of that $25 for my project. Some of it is going to DonorsChoose, the company. Okay? So now let's say I'm done. I don't want to add anything else. If you want to add more, you can. That says continue shopping, and you're going to do the same thing. So you're going to the website, you're adding it to your cart, and you're saying place order. Make sure 100% that it says DonorsChoose on that website, because if it doesn't say DonorsChoose and you say order, you may be paying for this yourself. So especially on Amazon, most of us have our credit cards automatically in Amazon. So if we press order, it's automatically going to order. So make sure it says DonorsChoose before you press order. All right, scrolling down, it says summarize what's in your cart. So this is where you're going to say what your students need. Now, I have a rug, so I can say something along the lines of my students need a nice place to sit during class as we move forward with flexible seating. Now, you can have it that short or you can add more detail, but realistically, when you're on a website, how much do you really read, right? You aren't reading everything on the website. So keep it short, keep it sweet. All right, so it says make sure to reference most expensive items in your cart by name. So you have to say in here what you need. If you don't say exactly what you need, like I need 10 boxes of crayons for this, if you don't say exactly what you need, this is going to be sent back to you once you send it in. They're gonna make you edit it and change it, so it's gonna take longer for it to get posted. All right, so we're done with that. I'm gonna say save and continue. Okay, so here's the project details. This page is where you're actually coming up with a title and a description of everything for your project. So this project title is going to be very short, but definitely to the point. So I'm gonna say rug needed. So think of this as some kind of advertisement that you would see on Craigslist. Now this one is a title, so you do have to capitalize all of the words. So rug needed for flexible seating. It looks perfect. I'm going to move on. All right, next one, about your project. So how will these materials make a difference in your students' learning? So for me, it's gonna be completely different for flexible seating than it will be for you if you're searching for some kind of online curriculums. So you're gonna come up with your own explanation on how these items will make a difference in your students' learning. Specifically name some of the resources you chose for your project and give concrete examples of how they will be used. Make your essay easier to read by splitting it up to 2 to 3 paragraphs. The first sentence of your second paragraph will get special emphasis, which means that sentence is going to be bold and the font is going to be larger. So that's going to be the catch-all phrase. So I added my little essay in here about my project. So I said, my students will benefit greatly from a class rug. We have hard tile floors all over our indoor school, and a soft rug will help us as we transition over to flexible seating. My students will be able to take the next steps in learning as we focus on comfortability in the classroom with flexible seating. So you can see here that green highlight mark there, that is going to be the part that is going to be bolded, and the font size is going to be larger. So that's going to be the focus. I continued saying, my students are excited to have the opportunity to learn in an environment free from the same old seating choices. My students will be able to have their learning revolutionized when we implement new seating choices, so students will have the option to sit in a desk, sit at a large table, in bean bags, or on the floor. However, a rug would keep the floor comfortable for students to sit on throughout the day. So you have to have a certain amount of words on here. At the bottom you can see it says nice. That means I did a good job. I have a good amount of words. If you don't have enough words, it's going to tell you at the bottom that you need to add more and how many words you do need to add. So I'm finished with that. I'm going to scroll down, and this is going to ask about the subject area. So what subject is this focusing on? So whatever you are asking for is going to go in a specific subject. Now it doesn't ask you what your teaching subject is. It asks you what subject these materials belong into. So you can choose applied learning, which will focus on character education, college and career prep, early development, extracurricular, things like that. Health and sports, which would be if you're a PE teacher and you're asking for PE things, gym, nutrition, education, team sports. History and civics, so if you're asking for things like maps or globes, you can put them in there. There's also financial literacy, so anything that has to do with financial literacy, social science, econ, literacy and language, so if these are focusing on students for English as a second language, foreign language, literacy, literature and writing, so English teachers, you're going to use this one a lot. Math and science, obviously math and science teachers, you guys are going to use these ones a little more. Music and the arts. Now I teach drama and leadership, so I can have things that go in there too. Drama is going to be a performing art. Music, visual arts, then you have special needs. So if you are a special needs teacher and you are requesting things for your special needs students, you can click on that one. And the last one is warmth, care, and hunger. So this one is kind of an urgent thing. So if kids need food, if they need hygiene products, even clothing, then you're going to click on this one. So you're going to choose which two match up the best with what you are asking for. Now once you press save and continue, you are going to open up to your page. So this is my page. I'm not going to show you the whole thing, but this is basically your project. So this is what everyone else is going to see. So they're going to see your picture on the right side. You're going to see your project on the left side. It says almost done. just review everything below and submit your project for screening. So I'm gonna skip through this. I'm not gonna let you see my school for safety reasons. So if you wanna see it on mobile devices, so if someone is on their phone and you wanna see what it's going to look like, you can click on this little button here and it's gonna show you what it looks like on a mobile device. So this is mine. It says Miss W, which is me, grades 9 through 12, and then it tells you how many of your students roughly are from low-income households. I think that's important for donors to see when they do donate to you. So if you do not come from a low-income area, that's perfectly fine. Don't even worry, you're still gonna get donations, okay? I'm just saying this so that you know what it is. So this is what mine looks like. I'm scrolling down and you can see everything that I wrote in my project. And that's what it's gonna look like. Obviously it's pretty long, so it's gonna scroll down past the phone, but this button, this green button here, is supposed to be like save and everything like that, or submit project. So we're gonna go back to the front page, and this is back to my project. So this is the bottom of my project. I just scrolled down, and it's got everything that I wrote in there. It tells the donor where the donation goes, so everything on here is going to be seen by other people, okay? So make sure you don't have any typos, that's very important. Now we're scrolling down. You can edit your cart on this button, so if you want more than just a rug, you can do that too. If you don't want the rug anymore and you want to swap it for something else, you can do that right here too. It's just going to take you back to the shopping part. Now, this is pretty much it. Once you're done, you're gonna press this button, Submit Project. And once you submit your project, you are gonna be done. Once you create your project, all you have to do is wait for people to start donating, and sometimes it may take a while, sometimes it may go very, very quickly. It just depends on how much you are going to advertise it to your friends and family on your social media, or even if you print out the flyer and people can take off the little piece of paper, go to the website and donate to your classroom. It really depends on you. So it's really not hard. Sometimes, again, it might take a while, but it is what it is. In the end, if you get it, it's so much better than you actually having to pay for it out of your pocket, because we all know how much teachers spend on our classroom and on our students. So any little bit does help. So I would suggest putting together as many as you can. If you just leave it at one, that's perfectly fine, and just see how it comes in, see how all the donations roll in. But if you have more out there, then chances are more people are gonna see them, and then you're gonna get more donations. So that's just a little tip from me. So you should be finished with your project campaign, you should have it posted, you should share it, and you should be ready to just wait for those to come in. Now, I'm gonna say again, sometimes it will take a while. Sometimes you may have a project that doesn't get funded, but that's okay. It happens. What you want to do when that happens is start a new campaign. And sometimes there will be situations, like in my case, and if you already had DonorsChoose projects live when this did happen, Ripple, a company, came and donated to every single project and funded every single project. So the more you have up there, the more likely you are going to get funded. If you haven't signed up for DonorsChoose, I definitely will recommend it to you, especially if you're a new teacher. It is really not hard to get donations to your classroom through DonorsChoose. Sometimes it may take a little while, but in the end, if you get it, like, it's so much, it's so worth it. So that is it for this video. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you aren't subscribed, please subscribe, and if there's any videos that you're looking to see from me, please let me know down in the comments below. Again, if you do want to sign up for DonorsChoose, that link is in the description bar of this video. And if you're interested in any of my other videos, go ahead and watch those. I'll tag some at the end and throughout this video. So again, please make sure you give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you next time. Bye!